And joining me now live from London is our UK correspondent, Jonathan Sacerdoti. Jonathan, thanks for joining me. So, 24 hours, the clock is ticking. What do we know at this hour?
Well, Eli, the U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson has now weighed in, calling the poisoning an egregious act, adding that it appears it clearly came from Russia. So that's showing at least some support from the United States for Theresa May's position. He went on in that interview to say he became extremely concerned about Russia, saying that he had spent most of last year investing a lot of attempt to work together, to solve problems, to address differences. And quite frankly, he says, after a year, we didn't get very far. Instead, what we've seen is a pivot on their part to be more aggressive. So we see stern words coming from the United States as well as the UK. Theresa May having given the Russians until midnight tonight to explain themselves properly, after which she said she will outline what Britain is going to do in response.
And it seems like they have a lot of explaining to do. That nerve agent that was used, Novichok, explain why that agent makes it so clear that this is linked back to Russia in some way.
Well, that nerve agent is part of the fourth generation of nerve agents. Some types are 5 to 8 times more potent than VX. That was the nerve agent used on the half-brother of the Korean leader in Kuala Lumpur airport when he was killed in 2017. These nerve agents were developed by the Russians in the 70s and also into the 80s. They can be made from 2 different chemicals. Sometimes those chemicals are available routinely or more legitimately, which makes them harder to stop and harder to detect sometimes. But Britain has, it says, detected that this nerve agent used in the attack in Sergei Skripal was part of the Novichok family, and that means it has Russia's fingerprints on it, because Theresa May says that is where this nerve agent is made. That left her with 2 conclusions, she said, and Russia needs to explain which one is correct. Either the Russian state carried out this attempted assassination, or they don't have control over their own supplies of these Novichok agents, and they need to explain how some of it managed to get into the hands of a rogue actor who could have carried out this act on British soil.
Jonathan, really quickly, I'm curious, just how common is it for Russia to carry out this kind of an operation on foreign soil?
Well, Russia does carry out these sorts of operations, and that's why Theresa May says she is fairly convinced that this was a Russian action. There was the case of Alexander Litvinenko in the UK, also killed using polonium, and there have been numerous other suspicious deaths which have come to light in the last few months after a BuzzFeed report highlighted 14 of them, which the US intelligence services are said to have told the British that may have been suspicious and Russian actions.
Jonathan, we got to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us live from London.